It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Wednesday, the 10th of April. I'm Michael Groff. Our roller coaster ride of temperatures will continue. For now, it's a warming trend that we're dealing with for the rest of the week and heading toward the weekend. The warmest temperatures we've had so far this year for tomorrow and Friday. But then temperatures will back off quite a bit by late this weekend and early next week. Afternoon highs going below normal once again. Questions surrounding how much wind we'll experience along the way, and if there's any rain chances, any hope that we could see some precipitation. We'll talk about all of that and everything else as we dive on in. First, let's look at the almanac from yesterday. 85 degrees the afternoon high, 55 was the morning low, 84 and 59 are the averages for this time of year. And as we take a look outside right now at 5:35 a.m., we've got clear sky. And we've got 59 degrees presently at Sky Harbor, dew point 32, humidity 36%, though winds are light, and the barometer is steady. Temperatures around the nation right now, for the most part, are fairly seasonal. It's a bit warm across the southeast U.S., feeling a little bit more summer-like for the Gulf Coast and parts of the southeast. You've got 60s and 70s down there and a little warm up the East Coast. But overall, fairly pleasant for mid-April. You got 30s and 40s for the northern plains, the central plain states out here in the southwest, 50s in the deserts, 20s and 30s in the mountains. The Intermountain West is generally in the 20s and 30s. Not bad. The upper level weather pattern across the nation right now shows a rather sharp trough across Texas, and that's the big weather maker to produce strong and severe storms from East Texas through the southeast U.S. today, along with some locally heavy rain, very active weather there. Now on the backside of that, we've got ridging building in here across the southwest, and that's resulting in a warming trend. Temperatures are headed on up. Here is the watch warning map. When we've got a tornado watch this morning over parts of extreme southeast Texas and Louisiana. We've had a few tornado warnings interspersed in there through the last several hours. We've got flood watches and flood warnings ongoing from East Texas through the southeast U.S. and the Gulf Coast. We've got some issues with wind further to the north across the plain states, and that's creating some fire danger issues also. Convective outlook for today, we've got that rare moderate risk of severe storms, level 4 out of 5, parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, southwest Alabama. And again, in that zone, we do have the possibility of all modes of severe weather, including a few large, potentially damaging, destructive tornadoes, those long-track tornadoes. But the broader severe weather risk really from East Texas all the way to parts of Tennessee, Georgia, North Florida. And again, the main focus for severe weather today along the Gulf Coast, and also some heavy rain and flooding potential there too. All right, speaking of rainfall, here's our precipitation outlook valid through Wednesday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing. Statewide, probably nothing, as it looks like we're going to stay dry for quite some time. Again, there is a small bit of uncertainty in this forecast, and we'll detail that and everything else right now as we get to the models, take a look at how things may play out. Here we go. This is the GFS. It is the 06Z run. This is valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. There's our low moving into the southeast U.S. with strong and severe storms out ahead of it, ridging building in here across the southwest, and what it means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today. Yeah, we've got sunny sky, a little bit warmer, highs mid to upper 80s today. Now, the normal high in Phoenix in the mid 80s, 85, 86 degrees. We're going to be around that, maybe a couple of degrees above. For tonight, we've got clear sky. We've got lows mainly in the 50s to about 60 degrees. And then tomorrow, with ridging still hanging around right on top of us, sunny, even warmer, highs low to mid 90s. We'll go with a range of 90 to 94. Now, that's not record territory, but it is above average, obviously. And it's more or less the same thing on Friday, but we're going to introduce an element of wind into the forecast too, turning windy as the pressure gradient starts to tighten up. We've got troughing building to the west of us, and so we'll see a little bit more of a surface gradient developing with east winds light in the morning becoming south 10 to 25 in the afternoon. We could see some gusts to around 35 miles per hour here in the deserts. And obviously that could result in some patchy blowing dust. Not a major concern, but something to look out for, especially along the usual dust corridors. But it'll still be warm again, low to mid 90s for Friday. And then the weather begins to undergo a transition as we go to Saturday. We've got troughing coming into the west. You can see some rain for coastal California there. For us, I would say the day on Saturday is sunny, breezy, slightly cooler, high temperatures mid-80s to about 90. On Sunday, this trough continues to very slowly progress to the east. This is not a really fast-moving feature. And so temperatures will continue to trend down as our ridges nudge down a bit. High temperatures fall back into the low to mid-80s. And then Monday is likely to be the coolest day of the forecast period, with high temperatures somewhere in the mid to upper 70s with this low coming on through. And you can see the upper heights here with that feature down around 555 to 558 decameters. And so certainly that would suggest much cooler temperatures and the low tracking over us. And you might think with that feature, we'd have a chance at precipitation, but I just don't think this is going to tap into much subtropical moisture. Now, I suppose there is a very, very small chance we could see a shower along this front that comes on through on Monday. I guess that is a possibility, but more than likely, if that were to occur, be over the higher terrain of northern Arizona or just to the north and east of Phoenix. The rain chance in Phoenix is mathematically not zero, but it's not worth putting into the forecast. It's about 5%. So we're not going to mention any rain with this feature, just breezy and cooler conditions. And then once that's out of here, we'll start to warm up again. This is Tuesday, and I show you this view because look at that bowling ball low that's up over the Dakotas now. You've got this surface low that's under 980 millibars. My goodness, very windy for the Dakotas and Minnesota with some strong to severe storms possible to the south and east of that surface low. Now we're going to be well behind this, and so ridging is building in for us, so we don't have to worry about anything other than dry and warmer conditions. Highs will probably get back toward the low, maybe mid-80s next Tuesday, but what a mess for the northern plains as that feature lifts out of the southwest and the western states. Now here's a week from today. This is Wednesday the 17th. Interesting here, we've got strong ridging over the east. We've got a trough north of Arizona, and what that's going to do is help to keep temperatures in check around here. I would say highs would be pretty close to, if not maybe even just a couple of degrees below normal, if that's right. Maybe some light breezes, especially in the afternoon. But no precipitation, obviously, for us. Then as we go out 10 days, this is Friday the 19th. Again, weak troughing to the north of us, heights around close to, maybe just slightly below average. So temperatures would be pretty close to seasonal normals with some breezes around here. But again, no sign of any big warm up for next week in that configuration. But obviously we've got ridging up there over the Northeast Pacific, and we'll have to see how the pattern ultimately plays out as we go deeper into the forecast. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix, this goes out through the 24th of April off the GFS ensemble. You can pretty much forget it. No opportunity for precipitation. The European ensemble very dry too. The ensemble mean is under 1/100th of an inch, and the likelihood is we will not see any precipitation over the next 2 weeks. Temperatures off the national blend of models. We will warm up, especially tomorrow and Friday look to be the warmest days, and then we'll cool it off a bit. And I think on Monday, we probably don't even make 80 degrees, depending on how this low plays out. That should be the coolest day of the period, and then we'll warm it up at least a little bit closer to seasonal averages for much of next week and moving toward the following weekend. And that is going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. And if you really like what we do here, you want to support us, then you can click that thanks icon below the video on YouTube or make those monetary contributions via our PayPal at groffshow@gmail.com. That is GROFF show@gmail.com on PayPal. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle, so check her out. All right, thank you guys so much for all of your continued support, all of your well wishes as I've been sick for the last couple of weeks. I am slowly getting better, as you no doubt can tell. So we're getting there. And thank you guys so much for everything. And Please be safe out there. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Wednesday.